What is up, guys? EJ here, back with another video, and today it's going to be my DVD collection 2016 Adventure Part 1. So let's get started. So first we have 47 Ronin on Blu-ray from 2013. Interesting film with Keanu Reeves. Yeah, good visuals, good mix of samurai and mysticism. Okay, up next we have 127 Hours, terrific movie directed by Danny Boyle. Great performance by James Franco, one of the best films of 2010. Up next we have Zack Snyder's 300, starring Gerard Butler. Yeah, fantastic visuals in this great movie about the 300 Spartans trying to hold back the Persian army at the Battle of Thermopylae. And then of course I have the sequel from 2014 on Blu-ray, 300 Rise of an Empire. Not as good as the original, but I like what's her name, Lena Headey and Ava Green. Always good to see those two. Up next we have the 300 Spartans from 1962. Basically an older version of the same story. Next we have Roland Emmerich's 10,000 BC from 2008. Not a great film, but I like some of the visuals. I like the stuff with the mammoth hunt and the saber-toothed tiger, all that good stuff. Okay, up next we have The Adventures of Robin Hood from 1938. Fantastic movie, of course. Errol Flynn, great as Robin Hood. Olivia de Havilland, yeah, wonderful movie. Errol Flynn's best, in my opinion. Okay, up next we have The African Queen from 1951. Great film starring Humphrey Bogart and Katharine Hepburn. Get back in there. Alright, next we have Oliver Stone's Alexander, director's cut from 2004. Yeah, it didn't do too well, but I really enjoyed it. Colin Farrell as Alexander the Great, Angelina Jolie as his mother, Val Kilmer, Jared Leto, Rosario Dawson, Anthony Hopkins, good cast. Okay, up next we have Alexander the Great from 1956. Robert Rossen produced this film, starring Richard Burton, Frederick March, and Claire Bloom. Okay, up next we have Mel Gibson's Apocalypto from 2006. Fantastic movie about the sort of demise, fall of the Mayan Empire. Really cool visuals in that movie. Just a great film. Next we have Around the World in 80 Days from 1956. Fantastic film, of course, starring David Niven. Yeah, not a huge fan of the remake with Jackie Chan. It's an okay film. Next we have Australia from 2008, starring Hugh Jackman and Nicole Kidman. Yeah, I really enjoyed this film. The horse, or the cattle stampede is really great scene, great moment in that film. Next we have Ben-Hur from 1959, of course, classic, winner of 11 Academy Awards, William Wyler film with Charlton Heston. Excuse me. Also, this edition features the silent version from the early 1920s, and of course Ben-Hur is coming out later this year. Next we have Beau Geste from 1939 with Gary Cooper, Ray Milland, and Robert Preston. Next on Blu-ray we have Black Death, starring Sean Bean, Eddie Redmayne, I forgot he was even in this, and Carice Van Houten, who of course plays Melisandre on Game of Thrones. Yeah, really cool, interesting take on the Black Plague. Yeah, sort of a dark and pretty twisted tale. But I dug it. It's got some pretty good blood and gore in that film. Next we have Blood Diamond, terrific film, one of the best of 2006, directed by Edward Zwick. Great performance by Leo DiCaprio, Jennifer Connelly, Jamon Hunsu. Really good movie. Next we have Braveheart, fantastic film, one of my favorites of the 90s. Mel Gibson, awesome, as William Wallace, of course. Just a stunning movie from beginning to end. I love everything about this movie, apart from the part where the Scottish beat up on the English. Alright, next we have Brotherhood of the Wolf from 2002. Interesting mishmash of martial arts and horror, fantasy elements. Monica Bellucci, stunning, of course. Really cool film, though. Next, we have Captain Blood from 1935, I believe, with Errol Flynn and Olivia de Havilland again. Next, we have Captains Courageous from 1937. Great film starring Spencer Tracy, Freddie Bartholomew, Lionel Barrymore, and Melvin Douglas. Next we have Robert Zemeckis' Castaway from 2000. Fantastic performance by Tom Hanks, of course. Wilson, the volleyball, there he is. Great movie. Never tire of watching it. Next we have Centurion from 2011, I believe, or 2010. Yeah, interesting film starring Michael Fassbender, Dominic West, and Olga Kurylenko. Next we have, in the slim case here, The Charge of the Light Brigade from 1936, another Errol Flynn, Olivia de Havilland movie. Next we have Congo from 1995, based on the book by Michael Crichton, starring Dylan Walsh, Laura Linney, Ernie Hudson, Joe Don Baker. Yeah, not a great film, to be fair. Next we have The Count of Monte Cristo from 2002. Really good performances by Jim Caviezel and Guy Pearce. Richard Harris as well. Next we have The Crimson Pirates from, I have no idea the year at the moment. I think 1950. Yeah, not too sure about that, but yeah, fantastic visuals, really acrobatic action. Burt Lancaster, just wonderful in this movie. Next we have Curse of the Golden Flower from, I think this was 2006. Chow Yun-fat and Gong Li. Yeah, visually stunning movie. Not as good as, say, your Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but still an interesting film. Next we have Cutthroat Island from 1996. The last great pirate movie before Pirates of the Caribbean came out, with Gina Davis and Matthew Modine. Yeah, it did really badly and got critically panned. Next we have The Duelists, a great early film by Ridley Scott from 1977, starring Keith Carradine and Harvey Keitel. Next we have Exodus, Gods and Kings from 2014. Yeah, good, interesting take on the Moses Ramses legend, of course, with Christian Bale and Joel Edgerton. I dug it. Always like to see the parting of the Red Sea scene. Next we have First Night from 1995. Love the King Arthur legend. It's one of my favorite stories, and I like this take on it. Starring Richard Gere, Sean Connery, and Julia Ormond. Okay, next we have The Flame and the Arrow. Another terrific performance by Burt Lancaster. Great movie, 1952. Sort of your Italian Robin Hood, if you like. Next we have The Flight of the Phoenix from 1965 with Jimmy Stewart and Richard Attenborough. I liked the remake from, I think, 2005. I remember Miranda Otto was in that film, but I didn't love it. I forget who else was in that movie, but it was okay. But I like the first one. Next we have The Four Feathers from 2002. Yeah, good film starring Heath Ledger, Wes Bentley, and Kate Hudson. Still haven't seen the original. Next we have Gladiator from 2000. Fantastic film. I absolutely love this movie. Directed by Ridley Scott. Russell Crowe, awesome. Joaquin Phoenix. Connie Nielsen, terrific. Yeah, big fan of that film. Alright, up next we have The Grey from 2012 on Blu-ray. Starring Liam Neeson. Yeah, the guy survives a plane crash in Alaska, and then has to try and survive the cold and a pack of ravenous wolves. Yeah, really good visuals, just great ending, fantastic ending, good film. Next we have Gunga Din from 1939 with Cary Grant, Victor McLaglen, and Douglas Fairbanks Jr. Great movie. Next we have Hidalgo from 2004 with Viggo Mortensen, Omar Sharif, I believe. Yeah, really fun film. Set in the Arabian Desert about a endurance race, horse race. Okay, next we have Incident at Blood Pass, a great samurai film from 1970, starring Toshiro Mifune. Next, of course, we have the Indiana Jones films, Raiders of the Lost Ark from 1981. Fantastic film, absolutely love it. My all-time favorite adventure film, of course. Harrison Ford, awesome as Indiana Jones. Karen Allen, wonderful. Ronald Lacey, great. What's his name? Julian Glover as the villains. Paul Freeman, sorry. Julian Glover is in the other one. John Rhys Davies, fantastic. Denholm Elliott, so on and so forth. The music. John Williams is fantastic. I love everything about Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom from 1984. Short Round, fantastic. A lot of people hate Kate Capshaw, of course. Kei Hui Kwan played Short Round. Love that character. Next we have Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade from 1989, of course. Fantastic opening with River Phoenix as the young Indy. Sean Connery is his father, fantastic. And yeah, like I said, Julian Glover is the villain, along with Alison Doody as Dr. Elsa Schneider. And then we have Kingdom of the Crystal Skull from 2008. I enjoy parts of this film. I like the opening with the nuclear explosion coming from the factory where they stored the Ark of the Covenant. I like Cate Blanchett's character. I like Shia LaBeouf in this movie too. I won't lie. Karen Allen, of course, returned. Good stuff. Next we have Into the Blue from 2005 with Paul Walker and Jessica Alba. What's his name? I forget the other. Steven Zahn. Yeah, Steven Zahn. Not bad seeing Jessica Alba in a bikini for most of the film. Next we have Into the Wild from 2007. Fantastic movie. One of my favorites of the past decade. Great direction by Sean Penn, Emil Hirsch. Wonderful performance. Really good supporting cast. Marcia Gay Harden, William Hurt, Catherine Keener, Vince Vaughn, Hal Holbrook. Okay, next we have Ironclad from, I want to say 2011, with James Purefoy, Brian Cox, Derek Jacobi, Kate Mara, and Paul Giamatti, who's really, really fun as the villain, King John. Next we have Ivanhoe from 1952, great film starring Robert Taylor and Elizabeth Taylor, Joan Fontaine, George Sanders, and Emlyn Williams. Next we have Cartoon from 1966 with Charlton Heston, Laurence Olivier, Richard Johnson, and Ralph Richardson. Next we have King Arthur from 2004. Yeah, good film starring Clive Owen and Keira Knightley, directed by Antoine Fuqua. Next we have King Solomon's Mines from 1950 with Deborah Kerr and Stuart Granger. Yeah, really good movie. And then, of course, I have the 1985 version with Richard Chamberlain and Sharon Stone. Loved these films as a kid. King Solomon's Mines, really cheesy, really cool. Cool movies, and Alan Quatermain and The Lost City of Gold as well. I think this came out in 87. Oh, nailed it. Next we have Kingdom of Heaven from 2005. Fantastic movie. Director's cut is great. Ridley Scott. Yeah, great film. David Toulis, Orlando Bloom, and I think Orlando Bloom's best performance. Yeah, fantastic movie. Love that film. And I think I'll end on the K's like I did with the actions, because they're basically exactly the same length. or same amount of DVDs in each collection. Anyway, A Knight's Tale from 2003 with Heath Ledger and Shannon Sossamon. Yeah, really fun movie about jousting. Interesting modern day soundtrack. Paul Bettany, wonderful as well. Great performance by him. So there you have it. Get a little bit of the sellotape off. So yeah, action or adventure part 1. Sorry. And tomorrow I will be bringing you the rest of the adventure section. Adventure part 2. So thank you for watching as always. And until next time, I'll see you.
Bond.